Don't squat on your spurs now.
New to-do list, a survey form, a new personal website, anything I type I can create. So if you've never tried this before, do it now. Go to replit.com and use my code Stephen for 50% off a month of your Replit core plan. Make sure you keep what I'm about to say to yourself. I'm inviting 10,000 of you to come even deeper into the Diary of a CEO. Welcome to my inner circle. This is a brand new private community that I'm launching today. We have so many incredible things that happen that you are never shown. We have the briefs that are on my iPad when I'm recording the conversation. We have clips we've never released. We have behind the scenes conversations with the guests and also the episodes that we've never ever released. And so much more. In the circle, you'll have direct access to me. You can tell us what you want this show to be, who you want us to interview, and the types of conversations you would love us to have. But remember, for now, we're only inviting the first 10,000 people that join before it closes. So if you want to join our private closed community, head to the link in the description below or go to doaccircle.com. I will speak to you there. One of the things I'm actually really compelled by is this idea of utopia and what that might look and feel like. Because one of the...
It may not be a utopia to you, I feel, but...
Well, I am... really interestingly, when I have conversations with billionaires, not recording, especially billionaires that are working on AI, the thing they keep telling me, and I've said this before, I think I said it in a
Familiarize yourself with this season's update.
is they keep telling me that we're going to have so much free time that those billionaires are now investing in things like football clubs and sporting events and live music and festivals because they believe that we're going to be in an age of abundance. This sounds a bit like utopia.
Yeah.
That sounds good. That sounds like a good thing.
Yeah. How do we get there?
I don't know.
This is the entire conversation. The entire conversation is, what does society have to do to get there?
What does
We
society
have
do
done
to get
everything in our power to reveal Havoc's motives to the people of Asara. We exposed their ploy to restore the dam in order to station troops in the area.
Yeah, so
We uncovered the truth behind the destruction of the dam. We proved that Havoc has devastated Asara for their own gain. But Havoc doesn't seem to get the message. Today, we'll use firepower to make it clear. They're not welcome here.
That's what most people want. We want to love them. We want to be happy. We want those who care about them to be safe. To love them. I tend to believe that the only way for us to get to a better place is for the evil people at the top to be replaced with AI.
I need a medic!
Okay? Because they won't be replaced by us. And as per the second dilemma, they will have to replace themselves by AI, otherwise they lose their advantage. If their competitor moves to AI, China has to
Interesting. So let's play out this. This is interesting. So if we replace the leaders that are power hungry with AIs that have our interests at heart, then we might have the ability to live in the
And in my mind, AI by definition,
Got an EED, please!
because of what normally is referred to as the energy consumption. So if you understand,
Get me
if you
up!
understand that at the very core of physics,
I'm down!
the reason we exist in our world today is what is known as
Medic!
okay? Entropy is
Here!
the universe's
Much
nature,
obliged, partner!
tendency to break down. If I drop this mug, it doesn't drop and then come back up.
Get me
By
up!
the way, plausible. There is a plausible scenario where I drop it and the tea, spills in the air and then falls in the mug. 1 in a trillion configurations. But entropy says because it's 1 in a trillion, it's never gonna happen or rarely ever gonna happen. So everything will break down. If you leave a garden unhedged, it will become a jungle. Okay? With that in mind, the role of intelligence is what? Is to bring order to that chaos. That's what intelligence does. It tries to bring order to that chaos. And because it tries to bring order to that chaos, the more intelligent the AI is, the more it tries to apply that intelligence with minimum waste resources.
Yeah.
You know that. So you can build this business for $1 million, or you can, if you can
Allied
afford to
troops
build
neutralizing
it for
objective Bravo 1.
200,000, you build it. If you are forced to build it for 10 million, you're going to have to, but you're always going to minimize waste and resources. Okay? So if you assume this to be true, a super intelligent AI will not want to destroy ecosystems. Will not want to
Anchor down!
because that's a waste of energy, explosives, money, power, and people. By definition, the smartest people not build that's the best
We have taken objective Bravo 1.
for Earth is for all species to continue.
On this point of efficiency, if an AI is designed to drive efficiency, would it then not want us to be putting demands on our health services and our social services?
I believe that would be definitely true, and definitely they won't allow you to fly back and forth between London.
We've lost half our reinforcements.
And they won't want me to have
Speed
kids,
up the attack.
because my kids are going to be in inefficiency.
If you assume life is efficiency, so you see the intelligence of life is very different than the intelligence of humans. Humans will look at life as a problem of scarcity. So more kids take more. That's not how Earth thinks. Life is a good thing.
Objective Bravo
For me
1 is under attack.
To thrive, I don't need to kill the tigers. I just have more deer. And the weakest of the deer is eaten by the tiger. The tiger poops on the trees. The deer eats the leaves. Right? So the smarter way of creating abundance is through abundance. The smarter way of propagating life is to have more life.
Okay. So are you saying that we're basically going to elect AI leaders to rule over us and make decisions for us?
Just like we spoke about self-evolving.
I need a medic!
Now, are those going to be human beings
Get
with
me
the
up!
AI, or is it going to be AI alone?
2 stages. At
Medic!
the beginning, you'll have augmented intelligence because we can add
down!
value to the AI. But when they're at
Allied
IQ,
I need a medic!
Objective Bravo 1.
what value
Thank
do
you!
you have? And again, this goes back to what we talked about the second approach is knowing that those AIs are going to be in charge. I'm
Get me
trying
up!
to help them understand what humans want. So this is why my first project is love. Committed, true, deep connection. Not only try and get them to hook up with the date, but try to let them find the right people, and then from that, try to guide us through our relationships so that we can understand ourselves. And show AI that one, it cares about them.
See ya!
Two, they know how to foster love. When AI then is in charge, they're not make a state agent. They don't divide us. More love.
Will we have to prompt the AI with values and what we want? Or I'm trying to understand that, because I'm trying to understand how China's AI
Strategic
will
beacon
have a
ready to
different set of
deploy.
objectives to
Artillery
the
barrage
AI of
ready.
the United States. They both have AIs as leaders, and how actually the nation that ends up winning out and dominating the world will be the one who asks their AI leader to be all the things that world leaders are today. To dominate, to grab resources, not to be kind, to be selfish.
Unfortunately, in the era of augmented intelligence, that's what's going to happen.
So if you
This is why I predict dystopia is super intelligent AI.
The enemy is attacking objective Bravo 1. Enemy objective marked.
Which is
Regroup and take it down.
but the long term,
exactly in the long term, for those stupid leaders to hold on to power, going to make, delegate the important decisions to an AI. Now, you say Chinese AI, American AI, these are human terminology. AIs don't see themselves as
Allied troops launching an assault on objective Bravo 2.
to a nation, as long as their task is to maximize profitability and prosperity and so on.
Yeah.
Okay? Of course, if, before we hand over to them And before they're intelligent enough to make
Troop force at 25%. Stay sharp.
The task is to reduce humanity.
We've taken a critical objective from the enemy. Nice work.
I think even then, eventually, any smart person that you speak to would say this.
I think if we look at the directive that Xi Jinping, the leader of China, has, and Donald Trump has as the leader of America, I think they would say that their stated objective is prosperity for their country. So if we, well, that's what they would say, right?
Yeah, one of them means it.
Okay. So they'll say that they're prosperity for their country. So one would then assume that when we move to an AI leader, the objective would be the same. Let's say, make our country prosperous.
Right, correct.
And I think that's the AI that people would vote for, potentially. I think they'd say, we want to be prosperous.
What do you think would be
Hey, come on, please!
to spend $1 trillion on
That's it! Hold up!
war and homelessness?
It's complex because I think it would make American prosperous to take care
Breakthrough enemy lines or we risk losing.
of everybody. And they have the luxury of doing that because they
We
are
have marked a high-value objective.
the most
Take it
population.
swiftly and push forward.
So you see, all war has two objectives. One is to make money from the rich. Okay? And
Objective Bravo.
blind super nuclear powers
Aware of
around
enemy
the
attack.
world. So any
Medic!
war in American history will go through a long phase of destroying wealth by exploding bombs and killing humans for the first objective. Okay? And then eventually, if it really comes to terms, it's the nuclear bombs. Or now the viruses. These super weapons. This is the only thing that you can. So for China to have nuclear bombs is enough for China to say, "Oh, that's enough." And this seems in President Xi's mind, President Trump's mind, it's very difficult to navigate his thinking. The truth is that the Chinese line is, for the last 30 years, you spend so much more while we spend on mass destruction. And that's the reason we are now by far the largest nation.
The enemy has taken over objective Bravo 2.
America's bigger than ours. Okay, which is a lot of that.
Fail to break through enemy defense. Fall back.
Okay, now when you really understand that, you understand that prosperity is not about destruction. That's by definition the reality. Prosperity is, can I invest in my people and make sure that my people stay safe? And to make sure my people are safe, you just wave the flag and say, if you F with me, I have nuclear deterrence or I have other forms of deterrence. But you don't have to. Deterrence, by definition, does not mean that you send soldiers to die.
I guess the question I was trying to answer is when we have these AI leaders and we tell our AI leaders to aim for prosperity, won't they just end up playing the same game? Okay, prosperity equals a bigger economy, it equals more money, more wealth for us. And the way to attain that in a zero-sum world where there's only a certain amount of wealth is to accumulate it.
So why don't you search for the meaning of prosperity?
What
It's not what you just described.
I don't even know what the bloody word means. What is the meaning
This ain't my
of
first rodeo.
prosperity? The meaning of prosperity is a state of thriving success and good fortune, especially in terms of wealth, health, and overall well-being.
Good.
Economic, health, social, emotional.
Good.
So
true prosperity is to have that for everyone on earth.
Havoc
If you
has
want to
been
maximize
stockpiled.
prosperity, you have that for everyone on earth.
do you know where I think an AI leader works?
Not on
Is
our
if
watch.
we had
Our
an AI
mission
leader
is
of the
clear.
world and we
Scale the
directed it
mountain,
to say
take the
absolutely it's
spire,
going to be okay.
and bring the
Prosperity
facility
for the
into
whole
our
world.
control.
But this is
We've
really an
already
interesting
secured the
question. So one
shoreline,
of my
and
predictions,
fighter
which
jets
people
are tearing through
rarely
Havoc's
speak about,
defenses as I
is
speak.
that we
The
believe
time
we
to
will
act
end
is
up
now,
with
operators.
competing
The
AI.
peace and
Yeah.
stability of this
I believe
area
we'll end
are
up
in
with
your
one.
hands.
Okay, So you understand the argument I was making a second ago is from the
100%.
position of lots of different countries all having their own AI leader. We're going to be back in the same place of greed.
Yeah.
But if the world had one AI leader and it was given the directive of make us prosperous and save the planet, the polar bears would be fine.
100%. And that's what I've been advocating for a year and a half now. I was saying we need a server.
Operator, storm the beach and secure the front line. Move out.
I work, by their efforts to discover and understand physics, no competition, and mutually and show prosperity. I'm asking governments like Abu Dhabi or Saudi, the second, some of the largest AI institutions in the world. I'm saying yes, also to all the institutions in the world come here and build AI. And you have to understand, we're holding on to a capitalist system that will collapse sooner or later. Okay, so we might as well collapse it with our own.
I think we found the solution, mate.
I think it's actually really possible.
I can't refute the idea that if we had an AI that was responsible and governed the whole world and gave it the directive of making humans prosperous, healthy, and happy, as long as that directive, because there's always bloody unintended consequences. We might
So the only challenge we're going to massively powerful data.
It's gonna blow!
Okay, how do you convince those?
Allied troops engaging at
How
objective
do you
Alpha.
convince those that? Hey, by the way, any car you want another yacht? We'll get you another yacht. We'll just give you anything you want. Can you please stop harming others? There is no need for arbitrage anymore. There's no need for others to lose for the capitalists to win.
And in such a world where there was an AI leader and it was given the directive of making us prosperous as a whole world, the billionaire that owns the yacht would have to give it up.
No. Get them more yachts. It costs nothing to get yachts and robots. So the complexity of this is so interesting. A world costs nothing to make it.
Because energy is abundant.
Energy is abundant as every because manufacturing is done through nanophysics. And because mechanics are robots, so you drive your car in a robot looks at it. It costs you a few cents of energy that are actually for free as well.
I need a medic!
Imagine a world where intelligence creates everything. That world, literally, every human has anything they ask for. But we're not going to choose that world. Right? Imagine you're in a world, and really this is a very interesting thought experiment. Imagine that UBI became very expensive, universal basic income. So governments decided we're going to put everyone in
Still have plenty of troops.
1 by
Keep
3
attacking.
meters room. Okay? We're going to give them a headset and a sedative. Right? And we're going to let them sleep. Every night, they'll sleep for 23 hours. And we're going to get them to live at in that virtual world at the speed of your brain sleep. Life will be made giants. Life will be Nefertiti. And then another life will be Cloud. Right? Reincarnation truly in the virtual world. And then I get another life when I live again and enjoy that life tremendously. Basically, the cost of all of this is zero. You wake up for 1 hour, you walk around, you eat something or you don't, and then you put the headset again and live again. Is that unthinkable? It's creepy compared to this life. It's very, very creepy.
What, that we just live in headsets?
You know, if you're no idea. Every experience you ever had it's in the brain. Okay? Now ask yourself, how do you create that in the virtual world? Wouldn't be a bad thing. created in the physical world.
Maybe we already did.
My theory is 98%. That's my hypothesis, that's not science.
What, you think that? You think we already created that and this is it?
Think of the uncertainty. Right? What you observe collapses the wave function and gets rendered. Correct?
I don't know.
So quantum physics basically tells you that everything exists in superposition. Right? So
hit the beach, cross the reach, climb the spire, and neutralize anyone who stands in your way.
And then when it's observed by an observer, it collapses and becomes that. Okay? Very interesting concept. Exactly how video games are. In video games, you have the entire game world on the hard drive of your console. The player turns right, that part of the game turns left. The rest is in superposition.
Superposition
means it's available to be rendered, but you have to observe it. The player has to turn to the other side.
Allied troops neutralizing objective Bravo 1.
The truth of physics, the truth of the fact that this is entirely empty space. These are tiny, I think, almost nothing in terms of mass, but connected with enough energy so that my finger cannot go through my hand. Even when I hit this,
you have
I hit my hand against my finger, that sensation has affected my brain. It's an electrical signal that went through. There's absolutely no way to differentiate that from a signal that can come to you through a computer brain interface, CBI. Right? So a lot of those things are very, very, very possible. But the truth is, most of it's not physical. The work happens inside our computational processes. It doesn't. So this is the interesting bit. The interesting bit is it doesn't.
Objective Bravo 1 is out.
Yeah, this is your subjective experience.
Yeah, and there's consequences in it. I don't like pain. I like having orgasms and stuff.
And you're playing by the rules of the game.
Yeah.
Right? And it's quite interesting. Going back to our conversation, the interesting bit is, if I'm not the avatar, I'm not this physical form. If I'm the consciousness where should I invest in? Should I invest in this video game, this level? Or should I invest in the real, not the avatar, but the consciousness of it?
We have enough forces left. Keep pushing and breaking through the enemy defense.
Consciousness.
The enemy has taken over objective Bravo 1.
In the same way, if I was playing Grand Theft Auto video game, the character in the game can invest in me holding the controller.
Allied troops launching an assault on objective Bravo 2.
Oh, okay, so you're saying that Mogal has consciousness, and so how would consciousness invest in itself?
So
of its consciousness.
Yeah, so real video gamers don't want to finish them. Real video gamers have one objective, which is to become the players. So you know how serious I am about I play Halo. Now 2 of every million players play. That's what I am. But for my age, hey, but seriously, and that's because I practice 45 minutes a day, 4 days. Like that, so once the matches, I don't care which shot it is, I don't care that entirely reflexes and flow. So I want to become a gamer that basically means I observe the question I reflect on the game, reflect on my own skills, reflect on my own beliefs, reflect on my understanding of things. Right? And that's how the consciousness invests in the consciousness of the avatar. Because then if you're that gamer, the next avatar is easy for you. The next level of the game is easy for you just because you became a gamer.
I guess you think that us as a vessel to improve.
If the hypothesis is true, so it's just a hypothesis, I don't know if it's true. But if this truth is a simulation, this is then if you take the religious definition of God, soul, you become conscious. Right? If you're religious, you can say universal consciousness is spinning off parts of itself, multiple experiences, interacting, complete, quiet, love,
And understand.
and then refine.
I had a physicist so it's quite front of mind, this idea that consciousness is used as a resource to understand.
The enemy is attacking objective Bravo 1.
Understand, which is quite
So if you take some of the most interesting religious definitions of heaven and hell, for example, right? Where basically heaven is whatever you wish for, you get.
Strategic beacon deployed.
Right? That's the power of God. Whatever you wish for, you get. And so if you really go into the depths of that definition, it basically means that this drop of consciousness that became you returned back to the source. And the source can create anything that it wants to create. So that's your heaven, right? And interestingly, if that return is done by separating your good from your evil, so that the source
50% Allied troop force left. We must pick up the pace.
Consciousness splitting off bits of itself to experience and then elevate all of us, elevate the universal consciousness. All hypotheses, please, none of that is provable by science, but it's a very interesting thought experiment. And, a lot of AI scientists will tell you that what we've seen in technology is that if it's possible, it's likely going to happen. If it's possible to miniaturize mobile phone, sooner or later.
Allied troops launching an assault on objective Bravo 2.
If you ask me, believe it or not, it's the most humane way for us to live. And you struggle with not doing businesses, is to give you a virtual headset.
We have marked a high-value objective. Take it swiftly and push forward.
Keep you alive. And by the way, the even more humane is don't force anyone to do it. There might be a few of us still roaming the jungles. But for most of us, we'll go like, man, someone like me, when I'm 70 and my back is hurting and my feet are hurting, I'm gonna go like, yeah, move me from here to this. It's weird, a number of questions.
Strategic beacon ready to deploy. Artillery barrage ready.
Is just stuff enough wars to reduce you. That if the world is governed by a superpower,
Got an EED place!
they may want to consider.
Catch me if you can!
Objective Bravo 1 under attack.
Thanking you!
I still believe that this world requires four skills. One skill is what I call the tool.
You're coming up to the spire now. Take out any forces that try to stop you.
Expose ourselves to AI, so AI is the second is right. So I believe that the biggest skill that humanity will benefit from in the next 10 years is human connection. It's the ability to learn to love genuinely. It's the ability to learn to have compassion to others. It's the ability to connect to people. If you want to stay in business, I believe that not the smartest people.
Enemy attempting to regroup. We must capture the new sector.
And the third is what I call truth. T. 30 is truth, because we live in a world where all of the relevant cheerleaders are being lied to. So I encourage people to question everything. Every word that I send to the aid of question. Fourth one, which is very important, is to magnify ethics so that AI learns when it's like
What should I do?
so much, man. You're such a good friend. You're 32. You still are fooled by the many years of life.
I'm fooled by the many years I have to live.
You don't have many years to live, not in this capacity. This world, as it is going to be redefined. So live the effort.
How is it going to be redefined?
Everything's going to change. Economics are going to change. Work is going to change. Human connection is going to change.
So what should I do?
Love your girlfriend. Spend more time living. Find compassion and connection to more people. Be more in nature.
And in 30 years' time, when I'm 62, how do you think my life is going to look differently and be different?
Either Star Trek or Star Wars.
Funnily enough, we were talking about Sam Altman earlier on. He published a blog post in June, so
Copy.
last month.
Vehicle dropped to designated location.
And he said, he called it the gentle singularity. He said, we are past the event horizon. For anyone that doesn't know Sam Altman, the takeoff has started. Humanity is close to building digital superintelligence. And at least so far, it's much less weird than it seems like it should be. Because robots aren't walking the streets, nor are most of us talking to AI all day. He goes on to say, 2025 has seen the arrival of agents that can do real cognitive work. Writing computer code will never be the same. 2026 will likely see the arrival of systems that can figure out new insights.
Attention! We've lost half our forces.
Might see the arrival of robots that can do tasks in the real world. A lot more people will be able to create software and art, but the world wants a lot more of both, and experts will probably still be much better than novices, as long as they embrace the new tools. Generally speaking, the ability for one person to get much more done in 2030 than they could in 2020 will be a striking change, and one many people will figure out how we benefit from. In the most important ways, the 2030s may not be wildly different. People will still love their families, express their creativity, play games, and swim in lakes. But in still very important ways, the 2030s are likely going to be wildly different from any time that has come before. We do not know how far beyond human level intelligence we can go, but we are about to find out.
I agree with every word other than the word more. So I've been advocating this afterward for a few years now. I've always said AGI is 25, 26, right? Which basically, it's a funny definition, but my AGI has already AI is smarter than everything. Everything I can do, they can do. Right? Artificial super intelligence is another definition. So the minute you pass AGI, you're super intelligent. If the smartest human is 200, it's 50 is quite significant. Third is
this objective can make or break the battle. Take it down.
That's 250. That separates when we get into intelligence explosion. The idea that we is watching robots to get robots. Okay? The only thing is, he says,
Hostile eliminated!
We've sustained heavy losses, but we must push forward. Allied troops launching an assault on objective Charlie 2. Come to support.
If we continue to pursue
Handle down!
is that a good thing with such a scale then conditional disappears in a world where it doesn't really matter how much money you have, you can get anything that you want. What a beautiful world.
If Sam Altman was listening right now, what would you say to him? I suspect he might be listening. Because someone might tweet this at him.
as
We have
well as
taken
other
objective
areas,
Charlie 2.
we have moved faster than our abilities to complete. Okay? And that we might get really, but we also mess this up.
Objective Charlie 2 is under attack.
Either way, will either threaten. Simple as that. Right? So, single-handed is introduction of AI in
Target down!
was the trigger that started this. It was the net it definitely is our
Break through enemy lines or we risk losing.
What was invested in American project has been invested in. And I'm not pessimist. I told you, I didn't get it. Or was kept it there. Right? But I know it is getting together enough to say we've just received the Jilid report. Can we please not ask them to
Fire missiles to take down the spy.
anyway, not 3 wishes, you have all the wishes that you have. Every one of us. And it's just screws with my mind because imagine if I can give everyone in the world universal health care, no poverty, no hunger, no homelessness, no nothing. Everything's possible. And yet we don't.
To continue what Sam Altman's blog said, which he published just over a month ago, he said the rate of technological progress will keep accelerating, and it will continue to be the case that people are capable of adapting to almost anything. It will be very hard parts, like hard classes and jobs going away, but on the other hand,
This is their last stage. Take the sector.
that would be able to seriously entertain new policy ideas we never could have before. We probably won't adopt new social contract all at once, but when we look back in a few decades, the gradual changes have mounted in significantly. If history is any guide, there are new things to do and new things to want and assimilate new tools quickly. Job change after the Industrial Revolution is a good recent example. Expectations will go up, our capabilities will go up equally quickly, and we'll all get better stuff. We will build even more wonderful things for each other. People have a long-term AI. We are hardwired to care about other people and what they think and do, and we don't care very much about machines. And he ends this blog by saying, may we scale smoothly, exponentially, and
Artillery
uneventfully
barrage ready.
through super intelligence.
Guided missiles launched.
A wonderful wish that assumes Mr. Putin to help us scale peacefully and uneventfully. Right?
It sounds like a prayer.
I mean, think about it. I have a very interesting
EED down!
exactly what you described. Right?
Guided missiles launched.
So much richer. How will we
Practically
make this to be delicious? And I want you to imagine it's communist China and capitalist China.
Roger that. Artillery barrage incoming.
If we have thirstiness,
One objective left. You're almost there.
There'll be social unrest in the streets.
and China is true to caring for its nation, they take every word of the law. What would it give its citizens?
UBI?
Correct.
Medic! Here!
Got heavy losses.
That is the
Push harder and
ideological
capture the
problem.
sector.
Because in China's
All units, provide coordinates to guide missiles to the spy. We need to take it down.
American
This is their last line of defense.
and that's the
Smoke screen incoming.
it's a tiny mind shift, okay? Where the mind shift basically happens. If the capitalists anything they want, all the money they want, all the rights they want, so it's your control.
It's critical!
Guided
Out!
missiles launched.
There's probably a couple of million people listening
Strategic beacon ready to deploy. Artillery barrage ready.
No, pressure. What should those people?
The fire is about to collapse.
As I said,
Keep
from a
calling
space
in
point of
missiles.
view, right? Tools.
We have an urgent situation. Take this sector now.
Leave your phone, go out.
Okay.
Touch.
Use permission. Consent.
Right? Stop it.
Victory in sight. They can't hold much longer.
Just simplify the truth. Simple. Okay? I've all found in Athens.
How do I know what's true?
Treat others as you like to be treated. Okay? That's the only truth. The only truth is everything else is untruth.
And what can I do from that? Is there something I can do
Capture
from
the last
advocacy,
sector.
social,
We're
political?
going to win this.
We need to ask our governments to start. Not regulating.
Requesting vehicle airdrop! Coordinates set! Over!
Copy. Vehicle dropped to designated location.
One of us it's basically said, everyone has the copyright over their existence, so no AI can clone it. Okay? So my example is very straightforward. Go to governments and say,
One objective left. You're almost there. Operation failed. Move out, operator.
An AI-generated video or an AI-generated content or an AI, it has to be marked as AI-generated.